Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of our MCA review. Today we are talking about linear equations and their different forms. So what I want you to do is look at your formula sheet. We have 3 different forms of equations. One is slope-intercept form, point-slope form, and standard form. Those 3 things are the forms. Standard form and slope-intercept form can be interchangeable. They can both be changed to each other. Slope-intercept form can only be changed to point-slope form, or vice versa. Point-slope form can only be changed to slope-intercept form. So if we start out here, it says write an equation in standard form. Okay, so now we have ax plus by equals c. That's standard form. That has the given slope and passes through the given point. Okay, so what I know is that I have a slope and a point. So what I want to do is start off with point-slope form. So this is going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Our point here is -3, -1, so x1 will be -3 and y1 will be -1. So we'll have y minus a -1 equals our m, which is 4/5 times x minus a -3. So 2 of those I can make a positive because you have 2 negatives in a row, so 4 plus 1 and x plus 3. So now I would distribute the 4/5. So we get y plus 1 equals 4/5 x. Now 4/5 times 3, that's going to be 12/5. Then we have to subtract 1. And we get y equals 4/5x plus 12/5 as a mixed number would be 2 2/5. So minus 1 would give us 1 2/5. Sorry about that, I keep pressing the wrong button here. So now we have this equation. We have y equals 4/5 x plus 1 2/5. Well, that is 7/5. Now how we get this is now slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. How we get this to standard form is we have to move the x. So we're going to subtract the 4/5 x from both sides. And then finally, standard form will look like a -4/5 x plus y equals 7/5. Alright, next problem. We need to write an equation of a line with a slope of -4 and a y-intercept of 5 in point-slope form. So this one we can't really do because what we have is y equals negative 4x plus a y-intercept of 5. But what we need to write it in point-slope form is a point. We don't have a point for this one, so this is not possible. Okay, next one, write an equation in point-slope form of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. Okay, so this one we actually have a point. So we can write this. Remember, we're writing this in y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus y1, well, that's going to be a negative 1, equals our slope, which is negative 6, times x minus x1, which is 7. And the only thing we need to change is y minus a negative 1 gets changed to a plus. So this is our point-slope form equation. Now, write an equation of a line with the two given points in point-slope form. So I don't see a slope, but I do see 2 points. So what we need to do is find the slope first, because we need a slope for point-slope form. So here we're going to have x1, y1, x2, y2. So what we need to do is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is negative 7 minus a negative 1 over 6 minus a negative 4. 7 minus a negative 1, well, it's negative 7 plus 1, which is negative 6. 6 plus 4 is going to give us 10. We can simplify that down to negative 3 over 5. So now we have a slope, that's our m. All we got to do is pick one of our points to use for point-slope form. I'm going to use negative 4, negative 1, because I have an x1 and a y1 there. So it's y minus a negative 1 equals negative 3/5 times x minus a negative 4. Make those positive, and we have our equation. Write an equation of a line with the two given points in standard form now. So same thing, we need to find our slope. So we're going to do y2 minus y1. Well, y2 in this case is 7 minus y1, which is negative 2, so minus a negative 2. Then we're going to have x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 2. So 7 plus 2 equals 9. 5 minus 2 equals 7. Now we have our slope. So what we need for standard form is we also need ax plus by equals c. Right now we have ax. We have 9 over 7x. So we're going to write this actually in point-slope form so we can figure out our standard form. So we'll have y minus a negative 2 equals our slope, which we found was 9/7. Actually, there is a shorter way to do this without writing it in point-slope form. what we need to do is write this in slope-intercept form. So y equals 9/7 x plus b. Because we don't know b, we need to plug in some numbers for our y and our x. Well, for this first one, I know that the y is -2 equals 9/7 times x is 2. So we can find our b. -2 equals 18/7 plus b. Then we're going to subtract 18/7. Might be easiest to put this in a mixed number. So 18/7 is going to be 2 and 4/7. So -2 minus 2 and 4/7 is going to give us a -4 and 4/7. That's going to equal our b. So this is an ugly equation, but our whole equation is going to be y equals 9/7 x plus b. All we got to do is move over our 9/7 by subtracting it. So we get -9/7 x plus b, or plus y equals, we forgot to add our b here, 2 and 4/7. -2 and 4, sorry, -4 and 4/7. So this is our standard form. Alright, write an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So our m, we just have to find our rise over the run. So it looks to me like we're going up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to simplify to 1/2. Then our b is where it crosses the y-axis, and I see that is happening right there at -3. So y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Next one, standard form. Well, I'm going to write it still in y equals mx plus b, because then I can easily switch it from this to standard form. Our m is going down 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be -4 over 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to simplify to -1. Our b is where it crosses the y-axis, and that's at -2. So y equals a -1x minus 2. All we got to do now is move over our x, so I'm going to add 1x and get x plus y equals a -2. Last one, point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We need to find our slope. So I'm going to go down -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, so down negative 7. Sorry, negative 6. And over 1, 2, 3. That's going to simplify to a negative 2. So now we just need a point. We found our slope, now we just need a point. Well, I can use either one of these 2 points. It does not matter. I could use negative 3, 1. Or I could use 0, negative 5. I'm going to use negative 3, 1. So we have some numbers here. So it'll be y minus 1 equals negative 2 times x minus x1, which is negative 3, which changes to positive 3. Last one, write the function that has the value f of 0 equals 2 and f of 3 equals 1. Now when we usually look at this, when we usually use functions, we usually use f of x. So what that tells me then is our 0 is our x, and our 2 is going to be our y. So f of x equals y. So we have the point 0, 2 and the point 3, 1. So I'm going to find the slope of this. Now when it says the function, I need to write an equation. I'm just going to write it in y equals mx plus b. So I need to find the m. So 1 minus 2 over 3 minus 0. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. So my m is negative 1 over 3. So then I'm going to put that into an equation. Y equals negative 1 over 3 x plus b. We need to find our b now. So I'm going to take one of my points. I'm going to use this point, 0, 2. So we'll have 2 equals negative 1 over 3 times 0 plus b. Negative 3 times 0, well that's 0, equals 2. So basically what this is saying is that 2 equals b. So then our new equation then will be y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2.